Doing some work on that statue over there. Hi, guys. Maybe it's setting up. Wherever they are. Let's go take a peek up here. So I'm going to have to wait until I get home to look into if anything was like reported over by the Capitol area earlier, like maybe a suspicious car, anything like that. I can't do it here. When I get home, I'll look into that and see if anything, if I can find anything. That was weird. But I forgot to tell you, I was concentrating over there, but I forgot to tell you that they have removed, my hip is so bad, guys. They have removed all of the silver fencing around the Supreme Court. So that is gone. So let's go up here and take a peek up here. Let's get past this music. Other than that, what we saw over at the Capitol, I don't see any other, anything out of the ordinary. It's really quiet, just the tourists. I'm not going to do a whole lot of talking about Saturday because there's so much coming out, and I'm just going to observe. I'm just going to observe right now. There's just so much coming out. Let's see up here. Now, they were supposed to have something at 11 o'clock. Okay, a fine-looking young man at the store. There's a couple of umbrellas down there, but we don't have a fine-looking young man. I did have somebody in the comments say the other day when I said there wasn't one here, and they was like, yeah, there was. No, there's bushes down there. Trust me, if there was a fine-looking young man down there, I would see him and you would see him, and I would make a big whoop-de-woo about and thank him. But anyhow, there's not one there right now. They were supposed to have a meeting at 11 o'clock with the Homeland Security update, yada, yada. And then I think it's around 4 o'clock or something. There's supposed to be a flight out of here heading to Las Vegas. All right, so let's take a walk over here away from this guy so he doesn't, what I will say about Saturday, there was a a lot of chatter, you know, and people are exposing themselves on every level. Okay, your family, your friends, strangers on Facebook, you know, people of power. They're all showing who they are from Saturday. You know, they wish that it hadn't missed, yada yada, and to me, that's really freaking sad, because regardless, you know, I don't approve of, like, vigilante shit for anybody. We have a rule of law for a reason, and, you know, now if the same thing would have happened to anyone else, you know, I'd be saying that's not okay too. That's not okay. You know, and there's just a lot of hate. It's a lot of hate, and I think that's what, you know, that drove me crazy. And then to sit here and, you know, and like I look at all the comments on like all the news posts and stuff like that, you know, and it always goes back to January 6th. Always goes back to that, okay? And it's like, you know, now, were there bad apples? Absolutely. Were there plants? Absolutely. Do I agree with any of the crap that went on there? Absolutely not. And it's funny because, you know, I had been coming to DC for several months, and I got a very, very, very strong nudge to stay away from here on January 6th. And I did. I followed that nudge. You know, I wasn't really used to my nudges at that time, but it was like a constant thing. So I figured, you know, I'm just going to not go. And I'm glad that I didn't, because my name would have forever been attached to that. It would have forever been attached to that. And I may not have been here still all this time. It may have really damaged that for me. So I'm grateful. I did, however, come in on January 7th. I met a friend here. We were over the Capitol, and you know, you couldn't tell anything happened there that day. I mean, it was very, very bizarre. We were sitting by the reflecting pool. You know, you couldn't tell anything had happened the day before. So if you hadn't heard about it, which of course you had, but if you hadn't, you would have never known anything. Now, what did happen that day was we were sitting there, and about, I don't know, 4:30, 5 o'clock, it started to get dark. You know, it gets dark early, and it started to get dusk, and all of these people dressed in black started to appear, and they had bikes. They had those rental bikes, you know. Those rental bikes are expensive. I can't afford those when I'm here. You know, they're expensive to have, so they started rolling in on that. Well, anyhow, there was they cleared us all out because somebody had left like a red cooler up by the steps by that statue, and they cleared us all out, and they like brought in the bomb robot, yada yada yada. But I can tell you that you know, the reason that we wound up leaving that day was because all these people started appearing. They dressed in all black, with backpacks, and on these, you know, these rental bikes, and it was extremely uncomfortable. We had parked all the way up here by the White House, which is, I don't know, a mile and a half, you know, so we figured we're going to get the hell out of here. You know, but the thing was, like, every time, you know, all weekend long, I kept saying January 6th, January 6th. That is not a good representation of all of us, okay? Not all of us agree with what happened that day. It was a very small percentage of people, and we, you know, we're not even really sure who those people were. And, you know, why haven't we seen the video footage yet? Are we questioning that? Why has it, I mean, even Johnson was supposed to be releasing it. It's, you know, it's been talked about being releasing, and nothing. So think about that. Why do you think it hasn't been released? Do you think it might be because of what they're going to show? Well, I don't know. I'm just saying. But, you know, there was a lot of, you know, they go back to, like, it's like extremists, and we're domestic terrorists, and we're this, and we're that. And, you know, I think this weekend proved that, you know, who we are as people, because nothing, you know, there were no riots, there were no cities burned, or anything like that. You know, and to be honest with you, I'm tired of hearing it, because it's like, come on, get something else to stand on. And watching these you know, Sleepy address the country about it, and him saying all this shit about uniting and all that, I couldn't help but laugh, because I'm like, aren't you the one that has been, like, pushing this, the MAGA extremists, and not just, Sleepy, but many of them. Jamie Raskin is famous for doing that from Maryland. Puts us in, it's a constant thing of where it's like they're MAGA extremists and they're domestic terrorists. I mean, how is that going to unite anybody? This country is so divided right now in so many different ways that it's almost scary, because we don't want random people, having issues. Nobody on any side of anything, no matter, my husband, yes, I'm sitting here like, so nobody, we just don't need that. And yes, right now we need to unite as a country because shit is hitting the fan. And yesterday I just couldn't help but think about, like the young people and the kids. And I know that, I look at mine, I know they're resilient and they're strong and they get through everything. But it's like, at the same time, the past 4 years have been just nightmares. It's like, my heart went out to them because, with stuff like this going on, they don't see a bright future ahead. And we need to fix that, and we need to fix that somehow. And we're working on fixing that, but it's taking so long, isn't it? But anyhow, so the good thing is that we're close to something happening. Now, even if it goes through the election, which I don't know anything, I'm just a regular person too, and the only thing I can do is keep an eye on information out there and keep an eye on the city to see if I see any signs here that may say something may be happening. But at least we know that we are only about 3.5 months away from, the election. So thank goodness, because it's gotten a little hairy now at this point. Now I know that everybody's out in Milwaukee for the RNC, so we're going to keep our eye on that, and just watch what happens there. And I plan to just keep my eye on information that's coming out, and that's all I'm going to do for now. I've already seen a couple things that, don't appear to be right. So it's like, I just want to step back, me personally. So that's my plan. But I just plan to keep an eye on the city here. I plan to keep an eye on all the information, everything that's going on. Keep an eye on the city here, see if I see anything different. That's all I can do anymore. We all know that they've cleaned the city up, okay? So I think right now I'm going to go ahead and go over by the Federal Reserve building and see if there's any parking over there so I can do an update. Now, I'm really not good at walking very far right now because I'm really having a hard time with this hip of mine. So if I can't find anything that's in with like a decent distance, I just can't do it right now. I'm so sorry, guys. It's like really bad. And I had a procedure done on it, but it didn't take. So it's just getting worse. So I will try to find parking. And if I find parking, I'll see you guys. If I don't, I'm going to head on out of here. If I see anything on the way out, you'll see me again. But if you don't see me at all, I'm just going to head on out of here. And we'll just keep an eye on things, okay? All right, guys, I love you.